Listen closely, my friends. Imagine standing before a crowd. They shout praises. They shower you with applause. The next day, the same crowd hurls insults, mocks you, spits at your feet. If you rise and fall with their voices, you are their slave. But if you remain steady, calm in praise, calm in insult, then you are free. For you have discovered the hidden weapon of the Stoics, the power of indifference. This power does not mean apathy. It does not mean weakness. It means control. It means ruling your own mind so firmly that no man, no circumstance, no storm of life can rule you. And the one who rules himself controls every situation. The Stoic meaning of indifference. Many misunderstand this word. Indifference in Stoic teaching does not mean that nothing matters. It means that only virtue, wisdom, justice, courage, self-control truly matters. All else, wealth, poverty, health, sickness, fame, obscurity, pleasure, pain, these are what the Stoics called indifference. They are not evil, they are not good. They are tools, raw material, neither blessing nor curse unless you use them wrongly. Thus, the wise man does not cling to them. He does not beg fortune for gifts, nor tremble when she takes them away. He stands steady because his treasure lies in his own character. Why indifference gives you control? Think on this. If your peace depends on money, the loss of a coin destroys you. If your joy depends on praise, a single insult ruins your day. If your calm depends on health, one sickness shatters you. But when you practice indifference, the world loses its chains over you. You cannot be bribed by fortune, nor threatened by loss. And when no man can buy your peace or steal your joy, you become untouchable, and the untouchable man controls every situation. Consider Epictetus, born a slave, beaten by his master until his leg was twisted forever. Yet he declared, "You may chain my body, but my mind is free." His indifference to pain and poverty gave him mastery even over those who owned him. Consider Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome. Surrounded by betrayal, war, and plague, he wrote in his journal, "You may break my body. You may destroy my reputation, but you cannot compel my soul to evil." His indifference to fame and power made him stronger than the throne he sat upon. Let us practice, for philosophy without training is like an athlete who never runs. Exercise 1, the drop of water. When insulted, pause and ask, what harm is in these words? Like a drop of water on stone, they vanish unless you let them soak in. Exercise 2, the shifting scale. When fortune gives you wealth, say, "This is borrowed, not owned." When she takes it, say, "I return it without complaint." This way, you are never broken by gain or loss. Exercise 3, the cloak of indifference. Each morning, remind yourself, today I may be praised or I may be mocked. Today I may succeed or I may fail. But none of these touch what is truly me, my reason, my virtue, my soul. Control situations through calm. How then does indifference give control? Because passion blinds, but calmness sees clearly. In anger you lose reason. In fear you lose courage. In desire you lose judgment. But when you are indifferent to praise, insult, gain, or loss, then your mind is steady. You see every path clearly. You respond with reason, not with panic. And the one who sees clearly commands the battlefield. Close your eyes. Imagine yourself in a crowded market. One man praises you. You are wise. Another curses you. You are a fool. Now ask, did either change the truth of who I am? If you are wise, their insult cannot remove it. If you are a fool, their praise cannot give you wisdom. Therefore, both words are nothing but air. Breathe and let them pass like wind across a mountain. Here lies the paradox. The man who cares least about winning or losing often wins the most. The man who does not cling to life lives most fully. The man who does not fear loss cannot be conquered. Why? Because his power comes from what cannot be taken, his virtue, his reason, his will, and with these he controls every storm. So, my friends, remember this teaching. Wealth and poverty, pleasure and pain, fame and obscurity, none of these define you. The only true good is virtue. The only true evil is vice. All else is indifferent. Master this, and you will walk through life calm, steady, free. You will face insult with a smile, loss with courage, success with humility. Let me remind you of the inner citadel, the fortress of the mind. If your peace depends on another person's approval, you are a slave. If your joy rises and falls with insults and praises, you are a puppet. But if your peace is rooted in virtue, in wisdom, courage, justice, self-control, then you are untouchable. Picture your mind as a high mountain. Your enemies may scream from the valley, but their voices cannot move the rock. Their stones roll back down. You remain solid and calm. This is the true defeat of enemies. They waste their strength, and you lose nothing. Close your eyes for a moment. Think of someone who has wronged you. See their face, hear their voice, feel the sting of their words or deeds. Now imagine them as a child, ignorant, stumbling, ruled by their passions. Would you be angry at a sick man coughing or a blind man stumbling? Number, you would pity them, perhaps even help them. Now, breathe deeply, say within, their hatred cannot touch me, their lies cannot define me, their anger is their burden, not mine. Do you feel it? Already the chains loosen, already you have won without lifting a finger. The paradox of victory. When you refuse to fight on the battlefield of anger, something curious happens. Your enemy is forced to fight against himself. His rage devours him, his envy corrodes him, while you remain whole, untouched, free. Thus his defeat is not your doing, but his own, and your victory is not over him, but over yourself, for the man who masters himself is invincible. My friends, let us end where we began. The surest way to defeat your enemies is not to fight them, but to render their attacks powerless. To live so rooted in virtue that no insult shakes you, no betrayal blinds you, no hatred poisons you. Remember, your enemy's power ends where your mind begins. Your calmness is the shield they cannot pierce. Your virtue is the sword they cannot parry. Defeat your enemies without lifting a finger. Let them exhaust themselves in rage while you rise untouched, for the man who conquers himself conquers all. Now rise, walk into your life, and let your very calmness be the loudest victory. And when others are swept by storms, you will be the still point in the center. This is the power of indifference, and with it you can control any situation, not by ruling others, but by ruling yourself. Now walk into the world, my friends. Practice indifference, and let your calmness be the greatest authority in every room you enter. How to defeat your enemies. Without lifting a finger, listen carefully, my friends. Imagine this. Your enemy slanders you, mocks you, spreads lies about you. You do nothing, no retaliation, no raised voice, no clenched fist. Days pass, weeks pass, and slowly your enemy begins to weaken while you grow stronger. How? Because their power over you was never in their sword, nor in their words, but only in your reaction. This is the great paradox of Stoicism. The surest way to defeat your enemy is not to fight him on his ground, but to rise above the battle itself. You win not by striking, but by refusing to be struck where it truly matters, the soul, understanding the true battlefield. Let us be honest. When we speak of enemies, we often imagine people outside us, a rival, an oppressor, a slanderer. But in truth, the fiercest enemy is within. Anger, resentment, fear, the need to prove ourselves. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." Why? Because when you mirror their hatred, you surrender your peace to them. You become their shadow, enslaved to their ugliness. So, the battlefield is not the street, nor the court, nor the Senate. It is the mind. The only true defeat is to let another person's poison corrode your soul. The power of non-resistance. Think of a flame. If you strike at it with your fists, you are burned. If you hurl stones, the sparks leap higher. But if you deny it fuel, it dies quietly on its own. Your enemies feed on your reaction. They grow strong when you rage, when you panic, when you curse them back. But when you remain unmoved, when you deny them your anger, they starve. They strike and find nothing to wound. This is why Epictetus taught, "If anyone tells you that another person has spoken ill of you, do not defend yourself. Simply reply, 'He did not know the rest of my faults, else he would not have mentioned only these.' See the wisdom. A calm acceptance disarms the enemy more than 1,000 arguments. Consider Socrates. He stood in court, accused falsely of corrupting the youth. Enemies jeered, demanded his death. Yet he offered no bitterness, no hatred. He calmly reasoned, then calmly accepted the hemlock. And what happened? His enemies faded into dust, forgotten. But Socrates lives in the memory of every age as a conqueror, not with weapons, but with virtue. Consider Marcus Aurelius himself. As emperor, surrounded by betrayal, conspiracies, and wars, he could have drowned in vengeance. Instead, he wrote in his journal each morning, "Today I will meet with men who are selfish, deceitful, arrogant. But I cannot be harmed by them unless I choose to be." What greater victory is there than to face plots without fear and treachery without hatred? Now, let us descend from lofty words to daily practice. How do you, today, defeat your enemies without lifting a finger? 1. Control your perception. An enemy's insult is nothing but air, vibration of sound. It is you who attach meaning to it. Withdraw that meaning, and the insult vanishes. 2. Reframe their attack as training. Every enemy sharpens you. Their malice is your gymnasium. When they provoke you, they give you the chance to practice patience. When they betray you, they teach you to detach from false trust. Thus, your enemy becomes your unwilling teacher. 3. Practice the art of indifference. If your enemy's opinion is outside your control, why give it power? Say to yourself, "Their judgment is their own burden, not mine. Let them carry it. Do not take it onto your back." 4th, defeat with virtue. When wronged, respond with justice. When hated, respond with calm. When slandered, let your life be your defense. In time, your integrity will make your enemies look like jesters to the world. My friends, let me begin with a question. Who is more feared, the man who shouts in anger, or the man who remains silent, calm, unshaken when provoked? The first looks wild, but his fury betrays weakness. The second looks calm, but his stillness is unsettling. The calm man radiates strength. People think twice before crossing him. Here lies the paradox. To inspire fear in others, you must first conquer fear within yourself. For the one who has mastered fear cannot be manipulated, cannot be controlled, cannot be broken. He becomes like a rock in the storm, unmoved, unconquered, unshakable. This is the Stoic path of fearlessness. And today I will teach you how to walk it. The nature of fear. Let us first ask, what is fear? Fear is the trembling of the soul before imagined harm. It is the mind whispering, "What if? What if I lose? What if I suffer? What if I die?" Fear lives in the future, in shadows that have not yet come. Yet, how often do those shadows prove illusions? We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Seneca said, We are tormented more by our fears than by the things we fear. To master fear, we must see it clearly, not as a monster, but as a trick of the mind. Why fear weakens? You understand this. Fear is visible. The fearful man trembles, hesitates, stumbles. Others see it and sense weakness. Predators smell fear. Tyrants exploit it. Rivals feed on it. If you want others to think twice before crossing you, you must radiate the opposite of fear. Not rage, not arrogance, but calm confidence. When others see that you do not fear loss, insult, or even death, they will hesitate. For how does one fight a man who cannot be shaken? The Stoic way to master fear. Step 1. Divide what is under your control and what is not. Fear comes from trying to control the uncontrollable. Death, sickness, fortune, these lie outside us. Virtue, reason, choice, these lie within. Fear vanishes when we place our effort only where we have power. Step 2. Rehearse difficulties in your mind. This is premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. Each morning remind yourself, today I may face insult, pain, betrayal, even death. If you have faced it in thought, it will not surprise you in reality. Preparedness dissolves fear. Step 3. Confront fear through exposure. Do not flee the things you fear. Approach them. If you fear poverty, live simply for a time. If you fear pain, train your body with cold, with hunger, with exertion. If you fear rejection, allow yourself to hear no. Each small conquest weakens fear's grip. Consider Socrates. Condemned to death, he spoke calmly to his judges. To fear death is to think you know what you do not know. Perhaps it is the greatest blessing. His serenity unnerved his accusers. He walked to death unshaken. Consider Marcus Aurelius. As emperor, surrounded by treachery and plague, he wrote in his journal, "Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while you can, be good." His fearlessness made even conspirators think twice, for how do you threaten a man who does not fear death? How fearlessness makes others hesitate. Understand this, power is not in shouting, nor in showing weapons, nor in making threats. Power is in calmness, when others see that you are not afraid of losing wealth, because wealth does not rule you. Not afraid of losing honor, because truth is your honor. Not afraid of death, because you see it as natural. Then they hesitate. They think twice before crossing you, because they know you cannot be manipulated. The fearless man is unpredictable, he cannot be cornered, and so even his enemies tread carefully. Let us now practice. Exercise 1. The worst-case vision. Ask yourself, what is the worst that can happen? Then imagine it fully. Poverty? You still have your reason. Pain? It passes. Death? It comes to all. When you strip fear of exaggeration, you strip it of power. Exercise 2. The breath of control. When fear rises in your chest, do not run. Breathe slowly. Deep in, deep out. Say within, this belongs to fate. My choice remains free. The body calms and the mind follows. Exercise 3. The mirror of mortality. Each night remind yourself, I may not wake tomorrow. Far from dark, this thought is freeing. For if life is brief, why waste it in fear? A man who lives ready for death is untouchable. Close your eyes. Think of a fear that haunts you. Perhaps it is loss of money. Perhaps betrayal. Perhaps death itself. Now step closer. Look at it calmly as you would study a stone in your hand. Ask, is this within my control? If yes, take action. If no, release it. Breathe. Say to yourself, I will not be ruled by shadows. My reason is my ruler. My virtue is my shield. Do you feel it? The fear loosens. The soul grows taller. The paradox of fearlessness. Here is the paradox. When you no longer fear, others fear you. not in the sense of terror, but in reverence. They sense the weight of your calm. They know you cannot be bought, cannot be bullied, cannot be broken. Thus they think twice before crossing you, not because you threaten them, but because you do not need to. Your strength is in your indifference to fear. So, my friends, let us conclude. Fear is the chain by which men are led into slavery. To break it is to be free. Master your fear, and you master yourself. Master yourself, and you command every situation. Others may plot, insult, threaten, but they will hesitate. For how can they control a man who fears nothing but losing his virtue? Remember this. Wealth may vanish, reputation may fall, life itself may end, but your character remains yours. Conquer fear, and you will not need to lift a finger. Your calmness will be your armor. Your fearlessness will be your power, and your very presence will make others think twice before crossing you. Walk, then, in courage. Let fear die in your heart, and let your fearless calmness be the invisible shield that no enemy can pierce.